Eskimos and Hamilton Tiger Cats. Brandon Banks has room, turns it on, spinning, and he'll score.
That football game simply turned in the fourth quarter, and Hamilton just kept turning the football over.
Cats fall to 9-3.
Questions linger about the status of Trevor Harris.
If he's not in the game, it's going to be difficult for them to win.
Kilgore, and it's intercepted. Go back the other way. Pick 6.
The Eskimos now solidly in fourth place in the West. Commonwealth Stadium in Edmonton. The Eskimos want to get back in that win column. They'll be looking to do that tonight against the best of the East. The Ticats lost a heartbreaker in Calgary last week. Their Alberta tour will continue against their old friend CJ Gable and the Eskimos, and it's coming up on Friday Night Football.
As number 15 gets honored, number 15, Logan Kilgore, former backup of Ricky Ray, is sporting that jersey out of Middle Tennessee State. He threw for 75% against Calgary last week. Looks to get the double E's back in the win column this game.
Dane Evans, number 9, playmaker for the Hamilton Tiger Cats. Need to make some plays tonight.
Better make some plays. Well, we know Dane's number 1 guy is who? Speedy B. But don't sleep on this guy, Braylon Addison. Over the last 3 games, 342 yards receiving, 57 yards rushing. He can do it all. Let's see if he has it in him tonight, baby.
In recent years, the Ticats had a good rivalry going when Ricky Ray was with the Argos, but of course he started in Edmonton. He's the Eskimos' all-time leading passer in their great history. He will be honored tonight, going on the Wall of Honor, number 15 in the green and gold. Come on in. Welcome inside our Friday Night Football studio as we get set for the Hamilton Tiger Cats and the Edmonton Eskimos. Rod Smith, Henry Burris, Davis Sanchez, and Milt Stiegel as well. Number 15, the quarterback of the Edmonton Eskimos. We just saw Ricky Ray. Well, the quarterback tonight for the Edmonton Eskimos also wears number 15 and used to back up Ray. Logan Kilgore, his first start since he was with the Argos in 2016. This is because of an injury to Trevor Harris, who's on the 1-game injured list. Here's Logan Kilgore now with Ryan Rashog.
Well, Logan, outside of the preseason, your first regular season start in a few years, I wonder what it was like preparing this week and, maybe how you think things went through your week of practice and how you feel.
Yeah, I think it was good. I think each day, every rep, you kind of get a little bit more and more comfortable. Obviously it's the same system we've had all year. It's not like we just, new guy, brand new offense or anything like that, but a little different when you're in there, and I think we did well, finishing off a good week of practice.
It's been a tough month for the football club on a bit of a losing run here. What would you say about the confidence of the group and maybe juxtapose that with the challenge of the Hamilton Tiger Cats tonight?
I would say that, there's no doubt that Hamilton's a great team. They got a great record, got great in all 3 phases, but at the end of the day, we got a lot of veterans on this team, so it doesn't really, we all know that you got to play good football at the right time, and it's getting to be the right time, so we got to play some good football here.
Ricky Ray will be honored here tonight. You know him well. You've come in for him before. You were asking guys all week. Nobody could think of an answer. What's the angriest you ever saw an even keel Ricky Ray?
Man, I honestly, we spoke a little bit earlier, and I said about the picking the wrong guy in the U.S. Open golf tournament. We were betting on it, but other than that, I don't really remember. Little friendly wagers here and there. Maybe that's the only time he ever got angry. Definitely not in a game.
Never on the football field?
Nah, just even keel. Never too high, never too low.
Good stuff. Thanks, Logan. Good luck tonight.
Thank you.
And a good lesson for Logan Kilgore, I'm sure. I can't, get over the irony here that Kilgore gets his start on the night that they're honoring Ricky Ray. By the way, he came off 21-28, 242 2 weeks ago and threw an interception as well against Calgary. So, Coors Light answering the call, Logan Kilgore. What do you think?
Well, those weren't bad numbers last week, Rod, against a very good Calgary defense. And he's facing another good defense tonight in Hamilton with a great front forward, Ted Laurent, Dylan Wynn, and Jagarrett Davis. But it's all about the guys around him rallying. Ricky Collins, let's step it up. Defense for Edmonton, you guys got to step it up, make sacks, terrorize Dane Evans in that offense for Hamilton and make the job easy for Logan Kilgore. Get C.J. Gable off to a good start as well.
I'm with you, Hank. Logan Kilgore, he gets the ball out of his hands quickly. We've seen that. His playmakers got to make guys miss, make big plays for him. He has to answer the call, but the guys around him, it's collective.
Well, for me, you look at it from a backup role. Last week, there was no pressure on him. He came in. No one was expecting him to play well or do anything. This week, it's a lot of pressure on him. He has an entire week to prepare with the number one offense, the offensive coordinator. He's starting, so they've seen film on him. So it's going to be difficult for him to go out there and produce. This man hadn't really played in a game since 2016, 2017. He didn't play much. 2018, he wasn't in the league. So like you said, he's going to need a lot of help from his defense and his running back in that offensive line if they want to have a chance of winning this game.
Pressure, too, on the Edmonton Eskimos and Jets. They've lost 3 straight games. Calgary Stampeders are about to improve to 9-4. They're winning in the fourth quarter in Toronto. I mean, Eskimos, with the rest of the West the way it's going, got to be feeling some heat here.
Oh, they're definitely feeling heat because when Brock Sunderland, Jason Moss, they acquired all these great players during the offseason and free agency. It was all about Grey Cup or bust in the city of champions. Now, right now, they're the city of chumps, losing 3 straight games. And again, I mean, this is what people are talking about in Edmonton right now. They've got to step it up because they expected this team to be doing much better than what they're doing. And right now, they're looking like chumps out there. They're arguing with everybody. They're fighting amongst themselves. But the one thing they're not focusing on is actually going out and executing. To me, I expected this team to be in the Grey Cup. They were my pick, Milt. I picked them to play Hamilton in the Grey Cup. But now, only cup they're playing in is the Edmonton Cup.
You don't have any speaking engagements coming up in Edmonton, do you?
No, not right now.
I mean, you call them chumps. I like it, but they have been playing back. You talk about that defensive line. Their calling card was getting after the quarterback. Bo Levi Mitchell, like you say, he could eat sushi off his jersey this last 2 games.
It's different if you don't have talent. This team has talent.
So when
everywhere. And you don't put up, something's got to happen. That's the issue here. I'm with you.
They liked going against Henry Burris and the Calgary Stampeders back when they had Ricky Ray as well. They won't forget that. The Edmonton Eskimos, they're coming on now. Trying to end a 3-game losing streak. Friday Night Football on TSN. Kickoff against Hamilton coming up.
A lot of people say, oh, Ricky Ray's just being Ricky Ray, but no, we're watching excellence here. Week in, week out, setting a standard.
Ray looking for Barnes. Great catch. Touchdown. Touchdown. That's vintage Ricky Ray. Ray going deep. It's up. And it's caught. Touchdown. Edmonton Eskimos. Grey Cup champions. Throwing the corner for Tucker. He's got it. Touchdown. The 2005 Grey Cup to the champion Edmonton Eskimos.
Brian Burns of Sherwood Park, Alberta. It's your chance to win big thanks to Save on Foods' $1 Million touchdown to win. If a kickoff's returned for a TD in this one, you can win a $10,000 home theater package. If it happens twice, you could also win $1 million. Good luck, Brian. Off to Commonwealth. Dustin Nielsen and Glenn Suter.
A beautiful Friday night in Edmonton as the Eskimos looking to get back on track, set to host the Tiger Cats. A special evening here at Commonwealth Stadium as well, as Ricky Ray will be added to the Eskimos' Wall of Honor at halftime. Prior to that, we're going to look at a man who now wears Ricky's old number 15 for these Eskimos.
And backed Ricky Ray up for 3 years in Toronto. That's the starter tonight for Edmonton. He will wear number 15. It's Logan Kilgore, his first start in 2019, 4th of his career, and he'll go toe-to-toe with Dane Evans, who's put a lot of numbers on the board. He's got 1 win, and they felt they should have had one against the Calgary Stampeders. Have stayed out here in Alberta through the swing, the 2 Western teams.
Orlando Steinauer looking to get his team refocused after a heartbreaking loss against the Stampeders last week. They stayed out here in the West. We'll talk about that throughout the broadcast. And Jason Moss and the Edmonton Eskimos looking to snap a 3-game losing streak, 2 of those games right here at home. They've lost 2 in a row at home, so they'll be looking to avoid a 3-game home losing streak as well. And it'll be Sean White to kick things away here for the Eskimos. Frankie Williams waiting back at about his 15, and that's where he'll take it up to the 25. Looks to the far side of the field, bounces it a little bit, takes it up to about the 35-yard line.
I mentioned Dane Evans putting some big numbers on the board, 800 yards passing in the last 2 games. He does want to fix one part of his game, and that's throwing it to the wrong color jerseys. A few too many interceptions versus touchdowns in the last 4. He's got 7 picks and 4 TDs. Cleaned that up, but he's kept the Hamilton Tiger Cats in the win column, and that's what's most important.
They've been pretty consistent throughout the season, have the Ticats. Here is Evans. He'll start on his own 39. Looks to his right over the middle. That'll be complete, and it's going to be a pickup of close to 8 to Mike Jones with the first completion of the football game.
And if he wants to get going and get it to Brandon Banks, back-to-back games for over 100 yards for big play Brandon Banks in the receiving core, and giving up some sacks in the last couple of games, and when you do that, you lean on your veterans, and that's where Chris Van Zyl at right tackle comes in.
2nd and 1 there, and Evans kept a pretty good job by the Eskimos defense, actually, and I think that's going to bring up a 3rd down here for the Tiger Cats.
Evans been sacked 9 times in the last 2 games, and that would correspond with the interception issue. Get pressure, more pressure you get, make the odd bad decision.
3rd and 1 here, right at midfield. And this one will be a keeper, and it'll be brought ahead for the 1st down in the hands of David Watford.
Take a look at the Edmonton Eskimo starting defensive line. There's Nick Usher, who's creating a buzz in the Canadian Football League when you talk to opposing offensive linemen. They respect the play of Nick Usher. There's a former Hamilton Tiger Cat in the middle. 61 defensive tackles for him, and Josh Johnson leads the team in knockdowns with 8.
Watford remains in the game and will keep this one, runs it to the outside for a pickup of about 4 yards. So they keep Watford in the game after he came in on short yardage on 3rd down.
Yeah, so most importantly, I mean, they're coming off the loss, a 1-point loss to the Calgary Stampeders, but Dane Evans has kept the Hamilton Tiger Cats atop the East Division, and that's what's most important. I mean, when they lost Jeremiah Masoli, they were 5-1, and the question marks started to fly. I mean, can this guy get it done? He's 4-2, playing very well.
Work from midfield, in a little bit of trouble here, and the Eskimos are going to get to him. Amongo Sewell tracks down Evans. And you talked about it. They've been giving up some sacks as of late.
Yeah, last couple of games, that's the 10th sack going into 3 games in a row here, and this time it's going to be Sewell. But you look across that defensive line, 3 of them have 6 sacks, and Usher, who I mentioned, has 5.
Kick it away, that'll come back. 52-yarders taken out of bounds just inside the 10. And it'll be Logan Kilgore getting its first crack here with the Eskimos in 2019. The CFL on TSN is brought to you by the Nissan Titan, ranked #1 in quality by J.D. Power. Logan Kilgore threw 28 passes coming in relief in Calgary, but this will be his first start in quite some time. It's going to be interesting to see how he handles it, Suits.
Yeah, first start since 16. He's 4th in the Canadian Football League. Again, I mentioned he played behind Ricky Ray in Toronto, learned a lot from him.
He'll start from his own 7 here for Kilgore. A couple of targets to his right. He'll keep that one after faking the handoff, finds Tavares Daniels, and Daniels will push it ahead for a 1st down out to about the 20.
Well, the Eskimos trying to snap this losing streak, and if they want to, they got to get the ball to Greg Ellingson. He was targeted 9 times, caught 6 for 82 yards, so just shy of 100 in the loss against Calgary before the bye week for the Edmonton Eskimos. And Matt O'Donnell moves from tackle over to his more familiar guard position on the right side.
13-yard pickup there for Daniels on the first completion of the game for Kilgore. Now he's got 4 receivers to his left. Gable standing in there to his right. He'll hand it off to Gable, makes 1 man miss, and then is wrapped up at about the 25 for a short pickup.
Interior defensive linemen, Dustin, are not supposed to lead the team in sacks, but Dylan Wynn does for the Hamilton Tiger Cats. He's got 9 on the season. In fact, he's got Charleston Hughes in his sights at 13 to lead the league. Simone Lawrence with 1 tackle will have 500 in his career, and 1 change, a late change at safety. We're going to see Mike Daly start. Tunde Adeleke tried it in warm-up. Will play sparingly in this one tonight.
2nd and 7 here for Kilgore. Sends a shot downfield, has a man, just missed him. looking downfield there for Daniels. Missed him by a couple of feet.
Just gonna tune that in just a little bit. He did have DeVaris Daniels down the sideline, a good double move on that inside fake. 3 or 4 steps in behind coverage and just missed him.
That'll be Sean White, still handling both kicking and punting duties. He's out here, he stands on his 11 right now. As the Eskimos pick up a first down before needing to kick this ball away. And he'll let it fly from the 15. Looks like it's gonna drop it around the 50. Taken there, ball held on to, good pressure there as Frankie Williams really nowhere to go. Second possession of the game coming up for Dane Evans and the Ticats. A 2-week stay in Alberta here for the Hamilton Tiger Cats, and they'll be looking to bounce back in this one, won't they, Glenn?
Yeah, he mentioned off the top, really felt like they had Calgary in McMahon Stadium, a real tough place for any team to get a win, but turned the ball over. They've had over 1,000 yards of offense in the last 2 games, lost that game in Calgary, and have turned it over 9 times during those 2 games.
Need to look after the football. That's something they'll try to do here tonight against this Eskimos defense. There's the handoff to Jackson Bennett. Tried to work his way up the left side of the line there and gets up to about the 50. A short pickup on his first touch of the football game.
Yeah, I think it's work in progress. There's Dane Evans and his numbers of late, last 5 games, 4-1. Most important, 4-1. Kept him atop the division in the East. And you see the passing yards up there, over 300 yards, as good as any quarterback in the league, but the touchdown interception ratio is what he needs to work on.
Pretty decent completion percentage there at 70% as well. Just
absolutely.
When he misses, he's missed bad. Now here's Evans. A little bit of time, just dumps this one off. That'll be complete. A lot of field to work with there for Bennett. And he's going to be pushed up past midfield, short of the first down. A pickup of about 7 there for Bennett. Bring up another 3rd down situation here for the Ticats.
Orlando Steinauer looked like he may be just contemplating.
Thought about it?
Whether or not to took a good long look at how far he needed to get, but it's a full yard and then some, maybe a yard and a half.
Haralahu to kick this away from his own 46, and that one's gonna fly out of bounds just inside the 15. As it'll be Logan Kilgore back onto the field, looking to build on his first start at Commonwealth Stadium. And Logan Kilgore will be out here for his second offensive possession for the Edmonton Eskimos. Managed to pick up a completion to DeVaris Daniels, missed DeVaris Daniels as well in his first series for the Eskimos.
You got to believe the 29-year-old is just trying to settle in. He had a wide open deep ball that he just missed, second series. But what he wants to do is flop the field position here.
1st and 10 from the 13 here for Kilgore. Looks over the middle, has Ellingson, and that'll be complete for Ellingson. It'll be enough for a first down. He gunned that one in there.
And the reason Logan Kilgore gets the start, his first in 2019, 4th in the Canadian Football League, is the injury to Trevor Harris. Harris came out of that Calgary game after just a few series, and he was sort of day-to-day. He had an issue with his forearm on his passing hand and just couldn't grip the ball properly. Gave it a try against Calgary, did not come back in the game. Kilgore threw for 242 in that one, in the loss to the Calgary Stampeders, so he gets the start in this one tonight.
Now 1st and 10 from his own 28, and that one almost into no man's land there. And here's head coach Jason Moss on the injury to Trevor Harris.
It's nothing that should be season ending or anything like that, and it's really day to day. And so he wasn't good enough to go, so rather than try to prolong it, he needs rest. Is really what he needs, and so we're affording that with him this week, so he'll get another 5 days before he gets to throw again, and hope the next time he tries it's better than what it was.
Don't want to mess around with that, right?
No, exactly. I saw a report today, thought that it started in Winnipeg 3 weeks ago.
There's that one complete to Natea Jay. Short pickup here, and that'll bring up third down for the Eskimos. When he was talking, just back to Trevor Harris here quickly, when he was chatting after practice on Wednesday, he was talking about how he just couldn't even pick up the football, couldn't throw the football. Probably had to worry him a little bit for a bit when you've been throwing a football your entire life, and all of a sudden you just can't do it.
Yeah, the game against, it was here at Commonwealth, the game against Winnipeg. He made reference in the media scrum that that's where it started. So played through it for the Labor Day game and the rematch and the early part of that rematch against Calgary, but just couldn't finish that game. And as Jason Moss just mentioned, day to day, I just play a doctor on TV, so I'm speculating on forearm and hand and things like that. The team has been pretty quiet about exactly what it is.
Frankie Williams on the return.
.43-yard kick there for Sean White. The return from Frankie Williams, and both offenses here as we near the midway point of the first quarter. Kind of stuttering at this point might be the right word to describe it.
Well, two good defenses in this game. Both Hamilton and the Edmonton Eskimos play very well on defense, so gonna have to earn it.
Evans will start here from near midfield again. Fakes the handoff, has a ton of time, looks to the far side of the field. And that one into the hands of Banks. And that'll be complete and move them onto the Eskimos side of the field.
This is a deep out to the wide side of the field. A tough throw to be this accurate on. He does keep that right foot in bounds. It looks like from that angle. We'll take another look. Yep, he drags the right toe. Good throw and catch.
Now back on the far side to Banks again. Banks with some room. And Brandon Banks is going to take it to the house. And the Ticats strike first. A 42-yard touchdown pass to Brandon Banks from Dane Evans. And it's 6-0 for the visitors.
3 of the last 5 Hamilton games, Brandon Banks over 100 yards. You got to believe that right now, if the voting was today, Brandon Banks would be the nominee from the Hamilton Tiger Cats for outstanding player in the Canadian Football League. And he gets them going, gets them started. First score of this game and first score for Hamilton. Nice blocking from his receivers to give him the corner and give him that edge, and you're not going to catch him if he gets a lead on you.
Probably not. For Banks, I believe he's over 1,000 yards on the season now. That'll be the 3rd consecutive season that he's topped 1,000. So once again, he's been extremely consistent over the last 3 seasons here for the Hamilton Tiger Cats. And now Evans will stay on the field here. Hamilton will go for 2 more, and on a quick slant to Anthony Coombs. The lead grows to 8 as the Ticats strike first, and why not get it into the hands of Brandon Banks. Down the sideline, home free the rest of the way. Hamilton with the lead. Seventh touchdown of the season for Brandon Banks has the Tiger Cats on top here in the first quarter.
Successful play by formation for Brandon Banks. Sometimes it's just a numbers game. You put 3 blockers out there and there's only 2 defenders. Brandon Banks is going to pick it up. He gets a nice block by Jalen Ackland, who's going to push Money Hunter just past him right there. Without that block, he doesn't pick up, in fact, probably loses 2 yards, but then he gets the corner, and the numbers in the double team down the field pay off, untouched to the end zone for Brandon Banks.
Simple math.
Yep, had 3 blockers and just 2 tacklers.
Hey, let's put more guys than they have over there, and then we'll just score a touchdown. And it worked out for the Ticats that time, as Dane Evans obviously pretty happy with his start. Brandon Banks with a couple of big plays on that drive. I mean, that drive was all Brandon Banks, and when you've got a weapon like him, might as well utilize him. Haralahu kicks this away. That'll be taken at the 10 by Tavon Smith, and Smith will bring it ahead. And we'll get another look here at Logan Kilgore. And for more on Kilgore's week, let's send it down to Ryan Rashog on the sideline.
Yeah, after a bit of a shaky start here, we're going to get to see how Logan Kilgore responds to a bit of adversity, and that's what Jason Moss was looking for this week in practice, guys. On Wednesday, Kilgore threw back-to-back interceptions while running the first team. Moss paid attention to see how he responded. He noted that the very next down he threw an absolute dart, and then a few minutes later, working in the red zone, threw 3 straight touchdown passes. I know it's only practice, but when you haven't started in a couple of years, that's all you have to go on, and Moss liked his resilience.
Thank you very much. And here's Kilgore dumping this one on the near side to Christian Jones. And
well, you know, I think it's a great point because that's all you can go by. And when you have only 3 starts in your career, and those were in Toronto with the Argos playing behind Ricky Ray, not a large sample size to go on. So you test the player, you test the quarterback in practice if you're Jason Moss, and he did that. And when issues happened or he made the wrong read, wrong decision, as Ryan just mentioned, he wanted to see what happened on the very next play. Everybody makes the mistakes. How do you respond to the mistakes is most important.
2nd and 6 here from Kilgore on his own 36, looking for the far side of the field. And is that intercepted? Yes, it is. Frankie Williams sliding under that pick. Comes away with it, and the Ticats back in action here.
So now it's game day, and now it's a different beast. And right now, Logan Kilgore has got to deal with this. He's got to deal with this adversity. A great play on the outside by Frankie Williams, been outstanding in the secondary and in the return game for the Hamilton Tiger Cats this year. What a great catch to get his arms under it. That's a turnover, so they'll be looking at that in the command center just to make sure he did make that catch, but that's adversity that now Logan Kilgore's have to overcome.
Now Evans might try to strike quick again. He will. Looking to the end zone, has a man wide open. Touchdown, Marcus Tucker sneaks in behind the defense, and the Ticats extend their lead to 14.
Sudden change. That's exactly what you want to do in sudden change, especially when you're on the road. When you get that turnover and the other team walks, and you can see by their body language that they're trying to fight the adversity, even defensively, just go right after them. Put it deep, make the play, and capitalize on the sudden change and the turnover by your defense. 41-yarder for Marcus Tucker.
2nd of the season for Marcus Tucker. And they'll bring out Haralahu here for the extra point. Attempt to push the lead to 15 here in the first quarter. Quick strike offense from the Ticats. As Dane Evans, we talked about, he's been moving the ball a ton. It's been a problem with the interceptions. 4 touchdown passes in his last 4 games, and he's added 2 here in the first quarter.
Yeah, they've had a good team time together this trip out west, and looks like it's paid off. But Frankie Williams gets things started with a nice pick. He goes down and gets this football. It's his first interception of the season, but leads the team in knockdowns. And I mentioned, of course, how important he is in the special teams. To take a look at the touchdown throw, it's just that deep post with a corner move, and it was man-to-man defense all the way against Edmonton secondary. Looked like Josh Johnson was victimized.
Johnson maybe think he had help over there, or he didn't seem too urgent to turn and go with Tucker.
A little bit of an outside corner move by Marcus Tucker.
Eskimos in a hole here early, down 15-0, having lost 3 in a row. Not an ideal start for Jason Moss and his club. As this will come to Devon Smith, makes one man miss, now another, runs out of room. A little bit of an extra push up towards his own 30, and that is where Kilgore and this Eskimos offense will come back out. And at this point here, just trying to get a little bit of positive momentum on the offensive side of the ball.
Well, and then you go back to the running game, get CJ Gable established again, get him going, get the guys up front firing off, and yourself in manageable positions. That's usually what happens. You don't want this to spiral out of control after a turnover, down 15. But as Ryan talked about, Logan Kilgore now facing that adversity on game night.
Good test here to see how he handles it. Kilgore with Gable inside. They'll give it to Gable, and Gable on his 2nd carry of the game is able to push ahead.
See, Jason Moss is a former quarterback. So Jason Moss goes, okay, You don't want this young guy to start thinking and making it bigger than it is. Back to the game plan, back to Gable on first down, get him in second and medium, and a real positive chance to build something and a few first downs.
7 yards on that first down carry for Gable. Here's Kilgore now, 2nd and 3. Back to Gable again. Gable trying to find a hole. Not much of one there, but a pretty good effort by C.J. Gable. And that'll be close to a first down. It will be a first down for the Eskimos. 2nd of the game for them.
Yeah, all on Gable here. Hit basically at the line of scrimmage and just went and got a couple on his own.
So after the interception there, as Glenn was talking about, getting it back to C.J. Gable, trying to establish something on the ground. A couple of back-to-back carries here. 2nd and 3rd of the game. Now Kilgore. Gable standing to his left and 4 targets further out on the wide side of the field. In trouble, rolls to his right, gets it to Ricky Collins Jr. Got one hand on it, couldn't haul it in, and that'll fall incomplete.
Boy, quick rush there from Jagarrett Davis, the former Calgary Stampeder, Hamilton Tiger Cat, 8 sacks on the season. He got off the field so quickly that Kilgore really didn't have a chance to execute this play. This play was not supposed to be to the backside to Ricky Collins. It was supposed to be to the field side. That pressure too quick.
2nd and 10 now on his own 38 here for Kilgore and the Eskimos. Quick glance to his left. Now looking to his left. Steps up in the pocket. Guns one over the middle. Looking for Ellingson. Defended well there and batted down. And that'll bring up another 3rd down. It was Frankie Williams once again in coverage.
Yeah, that's the 8th knockdown of the season for Frankie Williams. And back-to-back plays on 2nd down. I mean, this is 2nd down, and Ellingson moves the chains. If he makes that catch, Williams timed it up nicely over the shoulder and knocks the ball out of there. A pick and a knockdown in back-to-back series.
Sean White out to let this thing fly again. Stands on his own 25. Hammers a low kick that will bounce at the 33. Scooped up there by Williams. 44-yard kick for Sean White. Williams, brief little stiff arm, eventually tracked down and held onto. We've had a doubleheader here on Friday. We'll have more doubleheader action tomorrow. CFL and TSN continues. First up, special live mic game between the Bombers and Alouettes. I'm looking forward to that one. Big Hill and Reed on the live mic. That'll be followed by a matchup in the Capitals. The Lions visit the Red Blacks. Action gets underway at 4 p.m. Eastern, 1 p.m. Pacific, only on TSN. Good-looking beards on those guys.
I think a few more people are going to be watching that Montreal-Winnipeg game simply because of what John Bowman said about Andrew Harris. Back off his 2-game suspension. I know there's viewers Googling right now.
Evans taking another shot downfield. He's got Braylon Addison this time. Addison stays on his feet. And back-to-back majors for the Ticats. This one, 76 yards to Braylon Addison. And Dane Evans is having his way with the Eskimos secondary.
Well, and it's just straight bust. I mean, the too deep, looking like a too deep Edmonton defense. But the Hamilton receiving core just getting in behind coverage. It looked like the first one was a man look. This is a zone look. But straight confusion back there in the secondary for the Edmonton Eskimos. They look like they were in too deep look, and Addison split them.
And now Evans will stay on the field to go for 2. They lead 21-0 already. Empty backfield here for Evans. Far side, and that one will be broken up and knocked out of harm's way there by Hunter defensively for the Eskimos with 1 minute and 35 seconds remaining, and his team's down 21-0.
If it's cover 1, you've heard me say that before. It's 1 guy deep that's free to help. If it's cover 2, it's 2. If it's cover 3, it's 3 guys deep. This looked like a cover 2 look from Edmonton. There's Addison in that number 4 spot. Now, as you go through the routes here, stop it there. There's a couple guys deep, but Addison just splits them. He just turns inside of Money Hunter and gets him in a chase. You can see the two deep defenders, so it looks like a cover 2 for the Edmonton Eskimos. But the weakness in a cover 2 is right down Main Street, and that's exactly where Addison went.
How about the aggressiveness here by Edmonton, this Ticats offense?
Well, hey, if he's got open receivers down the field, chuck it.
197 yards, 7 for 7 and 3 touchdowns for Dane Evans. Start him in your fantasy tonight. That's a week-winning first quarter right there.
Well, I tell you what, I mean, there's a lot to like about Dane Evans. Again,
Here's Jones. He'll take it at the 5. Eskimos need a spark. He cannot provide it. Takes it back up to about the 23. Wrapped up there by the Ticats coverage team. And once again, the Eskimos offense, led by Logan Kilgore, trotting back out onto the field here, looking for something to build on.
Yeah, stop the bleeding and get some first downs. Get your defense a chance on the sideline to get things together and to work things out in the back end, the secondary. Make sure they've figured that out, but you need a few first downs to get that done.
So far, 3 punts and an interception for the Eskimos offense here in the opening quarter. They'll hand it off again to CJ Gable, pushes ahead for a short gain there on first down.
Logan Kilgore out of Middle Tennessee State. This is 4th year in the Canadian Football League. He's 29 years old. His first shot at the pro level was in New Orleans, playing behind Drew Brees for a camp, and learned from him, and then a few years behind Ricky Ray, who will be honored and added to the Eskimo Wall of Honor here, Commonwealth, at halftime.
Will also join us in the third quarter up here in the booth. Here's Kilgore. Guns it over the middle, and that one will be complete for a first down to Natea J.
Well, there's a confidence-building throw from Logan Kilgore, because that's the danger area. That's the tough one. You've got to be bang on with your accuracy here, or else it's an interception. You can see the Hamilton defenders. There's 4 of them around Natea J there, but he threaded the needle.
I'll move the ball up to the 40 for the Eskimos. They have not crossed midfield yet here in the first quarter. Kilgore maybe to look and do that here as time winds down in the first quarter. Kilgore, a little bit of pressure, some time over the middle. That one up high. He was looking for Greg Ellingson, and Ellingson got some fingers on it, but that was about it, as the ball will bounce off his hand and fall incomplete. All Hamilton through the opening quarter. They lead 21-0 at Commonwealth. Welcome back to Commonwealth, everyone, and the Eskimos in a little bit of a hole here. It's been all Tiger Cats, all Dane Evans so far in this one.
Yeah, all Dane Evans. Some great deep throws from Dane Evans, and they're way out in front and dominating this game. Logan Kilgore missed Tavares Daniels in his very first series on a deep ball on Ricky Ray night. They're going to
Yay, Ricky!
They're going to put Ricky Ray on the Wall of Honor here at Commonwealth Stadium, and there was a rumor after a couple of throws up here that they're going to ask him to dress one more game. That's not going to happen.
Well, his number's taken right now.
His number's taken.
Here is Kilgore. Is he going to run it? He does. He's got some room on the far side. And he ends up collapsing down at about the 45-yard line. And that will bring up third down here for the Eskimos.
Well, let's take a look at the hit played. It looked like Kilgore wanted a penalty flag thrown here. Looked like he tried to slide. Now, if you're a quarterback and you're going to hook slide feet first, you got to declare early.
Some boo birds out here at Commonwealth? Sounds like it.
Yeah, he's going to challenge.
Friday night.
I think Jason Moss is going to challenge that. That was a high hit on Logan Kilgore by Frankie Williams.
Definitely contact to the head.
Yeah. Yeah, now he doesn't have the same type of protection that he would have in
Edmonton
the
is
pocket.
challenging the ruling on the field. They believe there was roughing the passer on their quarterback as he slides.
But
the play will be reviewed.
But there is protection for a quarterback sliding. Now the question is, was the slide too late? And were there mitigating circumstances? In other words, the angle changes because he's going down and Williams can't help but grab the helmet.
It almost seems simultaneous, doesn't it?
I don't think there was a face mask there. At least it didn't look like he grabbed the face mask.
So they'll be looking, you think, at first just where the slide is? And
see, I'm not even sure he got into the full slide by the time he is surrendering, though. It'll be an interesting call.
I'm not even going to ask you for a prediction.
Yeah,
on this
no,
one, so that's not fair. I can't put you in that situation right now.
That's why they get the big bucks in Toronto.
What do you think of the decision? 2 challenges, though, from Moss. Is that?
Well, he had a quick discussion with the sideline official just before throwing the challenge flag, so must have got a little intel from him that he had a chance to win it. But the slide just looked a little late to me. But let's see what they say. In other words, he's a running back in the open field.
Yeah, which is totally justifiable, I think, in that situation for Logan Kilgore. Kilgore wanted the call. Let's see if he gets it.
After review, the ruling on the field stands. Edmonton is charged a timeout, and they're out of challenge. 3rd down.
Jason Moss not happy, obviously.
Went right back to that official that he talked to originally and threw his challenge flag after the quick discussion.
So Sean White back out on the field, standing at his 31. Frankie Williams, who's been involved in this game, both the return game and on the defensive side of the ball. He was in on that tackle, has an interception as well, and he'll run up under this ball. There's a little bit of space this time. Takes it at the 25, a 42-yard kick from Sean White, which is his average on the season. Ticats lead by 21. Look at this. Happy birthday to our director in the truck, Franklin Rubenstein. He doesn't look a day over 50, does he, Suits?
I'm not sure. I'm not sure if he's 50. I think we just those were the only numbers we could find. Happy birthday.
Okay, confirmed he's not 50, but that was great. The Ticats gave him 3 first quarter touchdowns for his birthday present, and now they come back out here. Their touchdowns so far, 42, 41, and 76 yards.
Yeah.
They have not been messing around. Here's Evans in the shotgun again. 4 receivers to his left, looks to his left, dumps it off to Banks. Banks cuts it to the near sideline. A flag does fly, a couple of them actually.
Yeah, that's
on the play.
That's going to be a trip by Edmonton and added yards, but Dane Evans been chucking it. I mean, he got the turnover. He got his first one with a hitch screen that Brandon Banks did the heavy lifting, but from there it was Dane Evans going deep. Marcus Tucker looked like he beat man defense there, and then in that cover two, he went deep to Addison, and 21-0 lead here in the first half against the Edmonton Eskimos.
Hamilton, number 12, a 10-yard penalty will repeat first down.
This will back the Ticats up. Side note as well, it's our first penalty of the football game, and here we are in the second quarter.
Never wrong to have less penalties, but it looked to me like there was a trip in the attempted tackle there on Banks, but that wasn't called. It was called on the holding Mike Jones.
So they'll do it again, 1st and 20 from the Ticats, 22 here for Kilgore. Crowd trying to get behind this defensive flag as the snap was made. Near side, that is incomplete. He was trying to come back across to Mike Jones on the wide side of the field again. And it looks like this one is against the Eskimos.
Offside. Edmonton, number 90, 5-yard penalty. First down will be repeated.
And some of that holding, 5 yards of that holding penalty back first down over.
The 1st and 15 now for Evans here. The offense struggling, but it'd be huge for the Eskimos to get a play from their defense here. Defense that's been able to make plays so far this season. Evans, this time he'll hand it off. That'll be taken by Coombs, and he'll bring it ahead, lunging up towards the 40 on his first carry of the football game. A pickup of 13 yards for Anthony Coombs.
Just taking a look at that Edmonton secondary, and Forrest Hightower, who is on the depth chart as a halfback, is playing the wide side corner with Josh Johnson in at halfback, normally a corner. Just this juggling of the secondary may be one of the issues for him.
Hightower, it's his first game since week 6. This handoff back to Coombs. As they keep it on the ground here, looking to pick up the first down. Close enough to get a measurement here. As he gets hauled down from behind, you see from far side there, the marker, he's going to be pretty close.
Tiger Cats really run the ball by committee. Anthony Coombs will get some runs. Jackson Bennett, with Sean Thomas Erlington out of the lineup due to injury early in the season, they've kind of gone that way. I mean, they'll give the ball to Braylon Addison and Brandon Banks on those fly sweeps, and they get involved in the run game.
Anthony Coombs, first year with the Ticats, 6th in the league. Have to be happy, I think, right now with his team start. Steinauer, you think?
Yeah, you're on the road with the 3-score lead. You're real happy.
The quarterback threw for 197 yards in the first quarter. Now they'll stay on the field. 3rd and just inches is all they need. Watford in the game, pushing ahead, and inches is what he got. There is a flag, though. I jinxed it when I pointed out it was the first flag of the football game. I think we've had 3 or 4 since then.
Edmonton number 90. This is a 5-yard penalty that will result in a first down.
Second penalty of this drive here for Armando Sewell.
Like he lined up, you can see his hand in the neutral zone.
Trying to get an early jump on the play. Not tricking anybody that time, so it'll be a first down here on the Hamilton 47 for Evans and his offense. Coombs flares out to the right, comes up the left side, and that one will be complete. Jalen Acklin, his first catch of the football game.
Yeah, halfway to 1,000 yards for Acklin as he tries to work into this starting lineup and become, earn the trust of Dane Evans. Their top 2 guys, Brandon Banks and Braylon Addison, with Luke Tasker out of the lineup. More reps for guys like Acklin.
Acklin, first-year guy. Tucker, a first-year guy. Braylon Addison, second year to school in Oregon. So not a lot of guys with experience outside of Banks, but they've done a pretty good job so far. This one will be handed off, and barreling ahead here back in the game, Jackson Bennett. So Bennett straight up the middle for a first down, and Ticats taking their time on this drive after striking quick on their first 3 touchdowns.
Well, yeah, they're going to want to work the clock all game long, keep the run game involved, and got a 3-score lead. One thing that can make that go away quickly is turnovers, and they know better than anybody going back to that Calgary game last week.
Lesson learned, right?
Yeah,
take it away right here.
Absolutely. Edmonton Eskimos at halftime got to figure out how to stop those explosion plays.
A couple of devastating breakdowns defensively for the Eskimos. Here's a completion on the far side. Lunging ahead there was Tucker. Eventually taken down, but he falls close to another first down. 9-yard pickup there for Tucker.
Good looking receiving core, though, when you get a little experience to Marcus Tucker and Jalen Acklin. Good core.
This one will be kept, this time by Evans, not Watford. And Evans slides ahead to the right side of the line for a first down.
Start number 8 of Evans' career. He's 4-2 this year, taking over for Jeremiah Masoli. Masoli was 5-1 when he took over. ACL injury for Masoli.
9th play of the drive here for the Ticats. Evans keeps it this time. A little bit of time. And he trips on one of his own linemen, it looked like, and eventually went down, and that'll be a loss of about 5.
Yeah, Brandon Revenberg was I believe, engaged. He was working to give his quarterback a little bit more time, and when Evans tried to step up in the pocket and get outside, tripped right on the inside leg. He was just trying to find a guy.
And that's an easy sack there for Unamba. There, a look on the CFL, or on the Ticats sideline.
Yeah, I had a quick talk with Masoli before the game.
It seemed like positive discussion.
Yeah, he first of all is trying to support and help as much as he can Dane Evans, and has been obviously is on the road trip with him and all of that. But I asked him about the ACL. He said he's feeling good. He's walking on it now. He's ahead of schedule, and coming back from that injury. I'm sure they're going to talk about it the moment the season's over, but Jeremiah Masoli will recover from that knee and needs a new contract.
You lock him up?
I'm locking him up if I'm Hamilton. Be a nice 1-2 punch. You get him and Dane Evans back.
Haralahu from 47, and that one is good. So another drive ends in points on the board for the Hamilton Tiger Cats. This time, a field goal from Haralahu. 24-0. Hamilton leads. A milestone night for Simone Lawrence here at Commonwealth. Knew it was just a matter of time, right?
Yeah, he was getting it tonight. He was one away coming in, so 500 tackles career for Simone Lawrence moves him up the list.
Eskimos looking to find something here on offense. They'll give it to CJ Gable, and now Gable's got nowhere to go as Wynn is in there along with Hauser shutting things down.
Well, remember when we talked about, if you've got a young quarterback and you're all of a sudden find yourself down by 24 points, you don't want this to become too big for Kilgore, so you go to the run game. Well, Hamilton knows that too.
They're thinking the exact same thing, right?
Exactly. Simone Lawrence knows they're going to want to settle this down and go to the run game on first down for sure.
Back to the line of scrimmage. No more there for CJ Gable. 2nd and 10 on the Eskimos 35. Kilgore, empty backfield, thought about a shot. Now he's in trouble, and he is taken down. There is a flag laid. It was Justin Tuggle who got there first, and now multiple flags come flying out. Looks like Simone Lawrence in there somewhere as well.
Ticat leader in defensive plays this year. Simone Lawrence takes on the block by CJ Gable. Is he going to get a late hit there?
Major foul. Unnecessary roughness. Hamilton, number 21.
Yep.
A 15-yard penalty will be enforced from the previous line of scrimmage. Automatic first down for Edmonton.
Unnecessary or just a little late?
I mean, listen, Simone Lawrence has a track record of this now.
So all eyes on him now.
Absolutely, and don't be surprised if there's some supplemental discipline.
Not going to be able to fly under the radar with that resume. Kilgore now working from 50, penalty aided to get him here. Pressure coming through the middle, takes a look downfield. That one's going to be up for grabs, falls incomplete. Was looking for DeVaris Daniels. Richard Leonard came over there in coverage as well. He wanted to make a move on it.
Maybe the issue here, and I think this is something that the Eskimos obviously still upset with the hit from Simone Lawrence, but one of the things that Jason Ma is going to have to talk to Logan Kilgore about, like his eyes are down for that deep ball in the last 3 or 4 plays. I mean,
Locked in?
Yeah, he's not going to be able to get 24 points back, you know, in 1 throw or 2 throws. He's going to have to run the offense. And Lawrence is being warned one more time.
2nd and 10 now from the 50 for Kilgore. Pressure to the middle. He's hammered as he let that ball go, and it is intercepted by Jamal Roll. Roll will bring it back up to the 50 and eventually tracked down from behind. But another interception for Kilgore, and he got blown up as he let this ball fly right in his face. 2nd interception of the game for Kilgore.
One of the tips for the offensive line when they're going to face a stunt is that the defensive end that's going to stunt is slightly off the line of scrimmage, and that was Dylan Wynn on the last play. He ends up running this twist with Julian Hauser, who takes 2 blockers out. Dylan Wynn comes around the horn and right down the middle and puts the pressure on, causing the interception.
They'll tuck it into the belly of Banks here, and he'll pick up about half of what he needs there on the 1st down carry.
You see that subtle, it's about, I don't know, about 12 inches back from the line of scrimmage, and the defensive end, in this case, Hauser's right up on the line of scrimmage, and Dylan is on the outside. He's just off and comes back into his normal D-tackle spot, but he's going right down the middle. So the stunt not picked up, and that tip not recognized by the Edmonton offensive line.
Here's Evans, empty backfield. Pressure, throws it over the middle, and that is complete. May have not been the intended target, but it worked anyway as he finds Jalen Acklin over the middle for a 1st down. 12-yard pickup.
Trailer in this trips formation to the wide side, and I think you're right. Like Mike Jones right there in the middle kind of worked off his first route and worked right in the same throwing lane or same line as Acklin.
Play the odds. You're going to have 2 guys there.
But he knew who was behind him because he pulled his hand away to not tip it away from his teammate.
1st and 10 now on the Eskimos 28. Dane Evans, 3 touchdowns, over 200 yards passing already. This time, design roll to the right, now looks back across to the left for Coombs, and that's going to be intercepted just inside the 15, and it'll be brought back up the sideline, and the Eskimos defense finally giving this team some momentum. Vontae Diggs with the turnover.
Well, it's a big one. Just before you get to the final couple of minutes before the half, give Logan Kilgore the ball back. I don't think Evans ever saw the linebacker slide underneath that one, but a great read on the throwback.
I think that's the guy he wanted all along, or did he
yeah.
get okay?
No, that was design play to try and influence the entire defense to take him with Dane Evans and then throw it back to Coombs going back down that opposite sideline, and Diggs was not fooled.
4 minutes remaining here in the opening half. I'll hand this one off to Gable, and Gable pushes ahead right up the gut on 1st down. Pretty good 1st down pickup, actually, close to 6 yards.
Yeah, now Logan Kilgore's in these situations just got to run the offense. He's got lots of time to move the ball down into at least field goal range. But the last 3 or 4 times he's tried to throw, he's been looking deep as soon as he gets the ball.
2nd and 4 for Kilgore. Step up to the line and change things. Taya Jay in behind his quarterback. And they not get that play off in time? No, I don't think they did, as Kilgore.
9-yard violation. Edmonton number 15. This is a 5-yard penalty. We'll repeat 2nd down.
Like he had a read on that defense, wanted to change things, but just couldn't get it done in time.
Yeah, they ran sort of a empty backfield, 3 receivers on each side, kind of a spread set, and tried to see that the Hamilton defense, whether or not they would declare. They did try to change the call. You got a quarterback in his first start of the season, first start in a couple of years. He's asking a lot.
Kilgore now over the middle. That'll be complete. And it is enough for a 1st down as he gets it into the numbers of Ricky Collins Jr. Kilgore and the Eskimos offense picking up a first down as we hit the 3-minute warning here at Commonwealth. A completion from Kilgore, Collins Jr. Not enough of them so far in this game for the Eskimos.
3 minutes to halftime, 3 straight touchdown drives. It took a total of 4 plays. We're going to talk about that. That's only part of Hamilton's utter domination of the Eskimos in this half. Also, Ricky Ray to be honored and going to the Eskimos Wall of Honor. We'll have that as well. Coming up, back to Dustin and Glenn.
Number 15 on the Eskimos right now is Logan Kilgore. 6 of 14 so far. A couple of interceptions. That one complete into the hands of Christian Jones. Makes a couple of people miss. Christian Jones picks up a first down for the Eskimos. A couple of offensive touches so far in the game here. That was a pickup of 12 for Jones.
Trash talking after the fact too, and Jones had to make a tough catch and 12 yards on the play. Number 1 returner for Edmonton. He and Frankie Williams got John a little bit.
Frankie Williams all over the place here in the opening half. Eskimos at midfield. They'll go to Gable, and he's wrapped up and taken down. It was Lawrence in there quickly. Now Gable getting back in his face. And I think Gable gave Lawrence a shove after he hit Kilgore there earlier as well.
Well, you saw the official talk to Simone Lawrence, and I'm guessing that was a flat-out warning that he could be thrown out of the game if there's anything close to what. And then you can interpret that the way you want, depending on what color goggles you're wearing. Did he twist the ankle of Gable there?
Here's Kilgore. He's in trouble this time. He's popped the ball. Pops loose. It's scooped up there by Kelly. As once again, the pressure coming in there. Kilgore really nothing to do that time.
But 2 UR penalties and you can get thrown out of the game. So Simone Lawrence got to be careful with that. But this pressure is becoming relentless. That was just 4-man from Hamilton, and Logan Kilgore takes a wall here.
It's kind of tied up. Second man in, popped him pretty hard there as well. You'll catch a breather on the sidelines here. Sean White kicks it away from about his 40. That's going to come down at the 21. To Banks. And he is wrapped up at about the 24-yard line. And that is where the offense will come back on the field. Sunday Night Football continues this week. Jared Goff and the Rams visiting Cleveland to take on Baker Mayfield and the Browns. Catch the action at 7 p.m. Eastern, 4 p.m. Pacific on TSN and CTV2, Canada's home for the NFL. Some of the worst field position that the Ticats have actually started with in this football game. Evans will work 1st and 10 from his own 24 here. That'll be a handoff up the left side to Jackson Bennett.
You just mentioned Baker Mayfield. Dane Evans played his college ball at Tulsa, and in his senior year in 2015 was among the top 10 passing leaders in Division I that year. Baker Mayfield was 18th that season. Dane Evans was 8th. Nick Arbuckle 7th. Patrick Mahomes 4th. And Jared Goff 3rd. That season.
Decent list of quarterbacks
in Division I. Yeah, but Dane Evans was number 8 in that list.
He's having a good game so far here. Over 230 passing yards. This one complete, but it's not going to be enough for the first down. He goes back to Marcus Tucker. It's Tucker's 3rd catch of the football game. He's got a touchdown in this one.
Dak Prescott 15th.
not a bad group. Not a bad group.
Boy, sometimes it's about opportunity and the right situation for quarterbacks, the right offense, the right quarterback coach. All of that has to sort of sync up. And Great quarterbacks on that list. A couple playing in our league, a few playing down south.
Arlahu standing just inside his 20. Letting this clock tick down. Now he'll let it fly. Towering kick that comes down at the 30, a 48-yard kick there. Christian Jones bringing it up the near side of the field. He's got a little bit of room. High stepping it out to about the 50. He'll get out of harm's way there as 4 Ticats closed in on him. Could be the biggest spark here of the game so far for the Eskimos.
Arlahu got into the bench here and got pushing and shoving with some, I'm not sure if it's players just in players that aren't dressed tonight, but this one's getting
real nasty. Dumps it off to CJ Gable. Gable pushing ahead, bursts through for a first down, and for the first time in this game, the Eskimos move inside the Ticats 40.
Gable's looking, he looked like he was trying to find Simone Lawrence there.
He's looking to hit him?
He had the ball in his hands and was trying to find a tackler.
Kilgore with less than 30 seconds to play. Has some time, wanted to go downfield. Now he's going to keep it himself. And goes for a slide down to the 35 with 21 seconds remaining on the clock. Pick up a 4. They're down by 24. I mean, whether it's 3 or 6 or 7 or whatever, I mean, any points will help right now.
Yeah, you got to be efficient here, though. You want to squeeze 2 plays out before a field goal attempt.
Here's Kilgore now, just over 10 seconds remaining. He's in trouble, steps up, looks downfield, has a man, and that'll be complete. Tavon Smith forced out of bounds at about the 5-yard line with 5 seconds left.
I was going to say, if Tavon Smith gets out right when he catches the ball and just steps out of bounds there, it's probably about 8 seconds, which means they could take a shot at the end zone, then kick the field goal if they don't get it. But now it's getting close. Can you get a play off in 5 seconds or inside of 5 seconds? And if you don't cross the goal line, get your field goal team out there.
That's what they're going to try to do. Kilgore looking to find the end zone here late in the opening half. This is going to be it here. He's going to have to find a man, and he does. Touchdown, Tavares Daniels. And it took the entire first half, but Kilgore and the Edmonton Eskimos offense have found the end zone.
Well, the decision easier for Jason Mott's down 24. I mean, that's, clearly when you're down by 4 possessions, you're going to be saying, let's go for it. Whether we run this time down or not, we need Majors to get back in this game. So obviously he's going to make that call, and Kilgore shows great poise there. And he's flushed some of the bad plays. Comes in, gets a drive together, has taken some hits, and that was nice composure to get that throw to Tavares Daniels.
Sean White for the extra point. And that is hammered home by White. 4-play drive, 51 yards, 41 seconds for Kilgore. So something to build on here on this final drive.
Yeah, big time. I mean, he's trying to earn the respect and trust of his teammates on game day, and you got to make plays to do that from the quarterback position. So he gets the 4-play drive, gets Gable going, who wanted to find contact. It's been chippy here in this first half, but Jason Moss calls for that first down play and go for the touchdown. They get it done.
All Ticats, the Eskimos, fresh breath of life at the end. They trail 24-7.
Welcome to Ram at the Half. Brought to you by the all-new Ram 1500 Motor Trend's 2019 Truck of the Year. Another winning season for Ram. We welcome you back inside our CFL on TSN studios for part 2 of this doubleheader in Friday Night Football. Rod Smith, Henry Burris, Davis Sanchez, and Milt Stegall. I mean, Yes, the Eskimos salvaged some pride late at that half of the story. 3 quick touchdown drives. Find it interesting, too, how one of those TDs, the third, was really kind of set up by the second one, too, wasn't it?
Yeah, it definitely was. And, I mean, it's good for Edmonton to finish out that way. But I can tell you, not only Dane Evans is on fire, but the architect, Tommy Condell, he's on fire as well, calling offensive plays that are matching up perfectly versus Edmonton's coverages. Now, the first play here, hey, you got Speedy B running a diagonal on the safety, which is always geared to tell the safety and man-to-man, pick your poison. Either it's Speedy B or we got a corner post outside by Mr. Tucker. And you know what? The safety chooses Speedy B like we always know he will, Davis.
Josh Johnson believes Hoover will be there, but he was beat anyway. He flipped right. He's got to stay outside and trust his safety will be there.
Now, the second play here, they have 6 offensive linemen here, knowing the safety's going to help out with Speedy B to the field. Money Hunter there is cheating because he knows something's coming. Another diagonal, which opens up the middle of the field. This is called Red Rider, meant to hit the diagonal because the safety's going to help out. Touchdown, here comes the post.
Watch how that corner there was short. His job, he's a cut corner, which means he's going to be a low player if something immediately threatens him. As soon as that corner didn't get depth, he actually jumped the curl route. That left his safety booty wide open, all wide open, and he ran to the corner, bare booty wide open, left him bare back booty wide open.
I haven't quite heard it put that way. No.
Left him booty wide open.
Got to write that down here. Yeah.
You talk about booty wide open.
Bare back wide open. And he chased it. When he chased it.
He was left what open?
Bare bottom, you know?
So you got a little baby. That's what the problem is. You got a baby.
That's
You
true.
got a baby.
But when he chased that corner, the halfback felt him gone, and now he had to chase one guy not getting to his spot, changed the whole defense there, and that's why that second touchdown was wide open. Bare back wide open.
Wide open. Okay.
You never heard of a bare back?
I have now. No, bareback booty wide open. I haven't, though. But anyway, Logan Kilgore.
I'm going to leave that one on. Logan Kilgore, he should be happy. He finished up that halftime with a good drive, but before that, he was struggling. And we alluded to this, right before the game. It's different between coming in as a backup and starting a game. The team, they have some film on you. They've seen what you do well, what you don't do well, and Logan Kilgore right now is not passing the test. He's not making Ricky Ray happy, who's retiring or who they're honoring. So it's good for him that he has some momentum going into halftime, but he struggled a little bit in that first half, He didn't get any help from his receivers. They dropped some balls. His offensive line didn't give him much time, but he has to find a way to come out in this second half and get something going. To be good if they can get C.J. Gable the ball. They're still not down too much where they can't get C.J. Gable the ball, because I believe if they can't do that, I don't think they can rely on that quarterback dropping back and thinking he can win the game by himself. Yeah, it's not going to happen that way. So get Gable the ball, block up for him, receivers catch the ball. Yeah. They got a pretty good chance.
You know what the Eskimos have to see less of in the second half?
What's that?
Bareback booty.
I feel you.
Number 15, starting for the Eskimos, Logan Kilgore. Number 15, Ricky Ray, to be honored, coming up here in Friday Night Football on TSN.
BBB.
It's Logan Kilgore. He'll go toe-to-toe with Dane Evans.
Banks with some room, and Brandon Banks is going to take it to the house. Looking to the end zone, has a man wide open. Touchdown. Evans taking another shot downfield. He's got Braylon Addison this time. Addison stays on his feet, and back to back to back.
Another doubleheader coming up tomorrow, beginning with the Bombers and the Alouettes, 4 Eastern, 1 Pacific. Winnipeg getting Andrew Harris back in the lineup. The Bombers getting some heat, too, with Calgary winning earlier tonight, improving to 9-4. Winnipeg 9-3. And the Alouettes coming off a loss in Saskatchewan. That will be followed by the rematch between the BC Lions and the Ottawa Red Black, 7 Eastern, 4 Pacific time. Ricky Ray, legendary Eskimo quarterback, the all-time leading passer, won a couple of Grey Cups in green and gold. And with his retirement, he is going to be honored in the Wall of Honor in just a moment's time. Just want to pick up on Winnipeg and Montreal. John Bowman, a few words about Andrew Harris and his 2-game suspension for a positive drug test, and Harris did respond. I just wonder, how that's going to affect his game coming back for the Bombers now.
When we talked about earlier, it's going to cause him to press a little bit because he's trying to prove people wrong.
Right.
And really, in this case, you just want to go back and prove your teammates that was wrong for you not to be out there with them. But you want to make sure that your teammates are welcoming you back, but you do it in the right fashion. Because he's on that slippery slope right now where if he takes this the wrong way, it could go the wrong way for him in this game.
You guys said it's going to cause him to press. I said it doesn't make a darn difference. No, it doesn't. If anything, no, I don't think it does. Not for a running back.
On the line. That's what they're saying.
Yeah, I don't think he can win regardless of what he does in this, except for the one thing is his teammates might raise their level of play because no one likes people taking shots at somebody when he's in a bad time. And when he's down, I think, if anything, his teammates might raise their level of play for him.
Over the last couple of weeks, I've spent a decent amount of time in Winnipeg doing some charity work, and I'm talking to fans, and a lot of them, they have his back, and the other ones, they have his back, but they're concerned because the thing with what he's going through right now, he needs to come out and play well. Because if he doesn't, and we don't know what the reason may be, people will start thinking, well, maybe he was on something.
That's ridiculous.
Why is that ridiculous for somebody to think that way?
They could think that way, but it's ridiculous to think that that's why he's not playing well. If he doesn't play well, that's why.
That's what's going to creep in someone's head. I guarantee you.
I agree. I agree with you.
Well,
they might think that.
It's in response to the criticism from John Bowman was saying he's using it as motivation, fuel for the fire. However, it would work for Andrew Harris and the Bombers in a big one tomorrow against the Alouettes in Montreal. Ricky Ray about to be inducted in the Wall of Honor of the Edmonton Eskimos. Let's head back to Commonwealth Stadium at the half.
That everyone wants, but few achieve. You are a winner. Thank you. Thank you for leading us. Thank you for being a champion. Thank you for remembering us because we could never forget you. Welcome. Ladies, please unveil the jersey. Fans, please draw your attention to the video board and help us count down. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Please welcome the legend, Ricky Ray.
Thank you. Man, it's great to be back here where it all started, way back in 2002. Feels like I'm coming home, and every time I came out here in the stadium, I would see the names up on the Wall of Honor, and I dreamed of being up there one day and wishing that I could do enough for this team and this franchise to have a chance to be up there one day. And I'm just so thankful that I got an opportunity to play with such amazing teammates, be a part of such a great organization, one that really cared about football, about family, about community. And to be standing up here in front of you guys one more time and to be able to celebrate this with you and my family some of my former teammates. This is something I'm going to remember for the rest of my life. You know, my family, my wife, Allison, and daughters, Chloe and Olivia, here to share this with me. And, you know, my old teammates, thanks for being here. And you fans, we've shared some pretty special moments here, haven't we? Your guys' commitment, your passion, your demand for excellence drove me to try and be the best player that I could. And I just want to say thank you, and thank you to the Eskimo organization, all the support staff, you know, my teammates, all the alumni. Being a part of the Eskimos has been truly one of the greatest gifts of my life. Thank you very much.
Congratulations once again, Ricky. Quarterback, leader, legend, once an Eskimo.
One of the all-time greats, Ricky Ray, honored by the Edmonton Eskimos. Another quarterback wearing number 15 with a lot of work to do in the second half. We'll be back with the numbers after this. Back in the game, the new album from Chad Brownlee. Listen now on Apple Music. Among all the numbers, the most bizarre is Edmonton had more first downs than Hamilton, ran more plays, and had the ball for just about as long, and yet they're down by 17 points at the half. That halftime show brought to you by the new Ram Heavy Duty, the most capable heavy-duty pickup ever, always ready for the second half.
There's a look at Ricky Ray as we get set to kick off action here in the second half. He's going to join us here in this quarter. It was an excellent ceremony.
Outstanding, just outstanding. And I was wondering, he couldn't hold it together.
We were not going to bring that up, right?
Got a little emotional. I don't blame him. I don't blame him.
The Eskimos will have the ball first. Yeah, he broke down a couple of times. Obviously very emotional for Ricky being back here tonight. A lot of his teammates here, obviously a fan base that fell in love with Ricky Ray when he was here, and now his name on the Wall of Honor for his time with the Eskimos from 2002 until that day in 2011.
You have to believe that Logan Kilgore is going to build off that positive momentum, and if he caught even a little bit of that halftime ceremony, you know, you'd think he'd be motivated to see Ricky Ray go up in the Wall of Honor here at Commonwealth.
Former teammate of Kilgore's. Here's Kilgore with an early completion, and that'll be close to a first down as he gets it into the hands of Ricky Collins Jr. Just his second catch of the football game. And that's something he didn't do a lot. You talked about how much he was looking downfield in the first half. If those plays are there for him, he might as well take
Exactly, yeah. You just run the offense and chip away at the lead rather than try and get it in big chunks.
Kilgore will stay under center here and push ahead. Looks like they'll have enough for the first down. A little pushing and shoving here to start the third quarter, and we saw a little bit of animosity between the two clubs. Yeah.
Started out with a UR penalty against Simone Lawrence, a late hit on Logan Kilgore. It escalated from there.
First down for the Eskimos. They'll work from their own 38. And they'll give it to C.J. Gable. And Gable ducking under a tackle, able to get probably two yards on that first down carry. And that one will bring up a 2nd and 8 situation here from the Eskimos 40 for Kilgore. What do you think the message was from Coach Moss there at halftime?
Exactly that. You know, I obviously speculating, but exactly that you run the offense, lots of time to chip away and come back, get the ball first, because Hamilton won and took the ball.
Pressure this time. Kilgore comes across, and that one hung up there long enough for Frankie Williams to slide in underneath and bat it to the turf.
Timing just a little off on that wide throw. If you're going to throw the wide side, it's got to come out of your hand before the receiver comes out of his break, or else you can get in trouble. It's a long throw to make in the Canadian Football League, 65-yard wide field. And if it's off on the timing at all, DB's got a shot. Williams gets a second knockdown of the game.
He was looking for Daniels, who's been his most targeted receiver so far in the game. And now we've got fingers being pointed all over the place at the line of scrimmage.
Command center in real time can help sort this out for the two coaches. Figure out exactly which side of the line of scrimmage move first. That's what Andre Prue is listening in on right now.
Saw Steinauer there. Looked frustrated right away.
Illegal procedure. Edmonton, the center moved. 5-yard penalty, still third down.
So some early movement there from David Beard. And that'll back them up a little bit further here. Sean White now standing at his 21. White on the year averaging 42 yards per kick coming in to this game. And he lets it fly from about the 25. Pretty good kick, falls just inside the 30. 47-yarder taken by Williams, and Frankie Williams slides ahead, gets it back up to close to the 35, which is where Evans and the Ticats offense will start.
Great first half, first quarter, specifically for Dane Evans of the Hamilton Tiger Cats. Started things off by getting Brandon Banks involved, little hit screen that he took to the house, and then it was deep ball. He just started chucking it, taking advantage of some mismatches in the secondary, some busts in the coverage from the Edmonton Eskimos, a couple of deep balls, and an early 3-possession lead for the Hamilton Tiger Cats. Now, Edmonton is chipping away at that lead.
Here's Evans, kind of stumbled as he let that one fly, and it falls incomplete, out of harm's way, but incomplete. 197, you mentioned his first quarter. 235 yards in that first half, 197 of them in the opening quarter.
Well, the sudden change, you got an interception from Frankie Williams, and that was the first deep ball. Kind of got that Edmonton defense reeling a little bit, hit another one on them, and then the defense settled down the second quarter. Tougher go for Hamilton offensively.
Try to regain some of that momentum right now. Second and 10 on their own 34. 3 targets to the right side of the field here for Evans. That's where he goes. That one hauled in at about the 52. There's a flag in the secondary as that pass is complete to Braylon Addison.
Legal contact on receiver. Edmonton number 0. That penalty will be declined. First down, Hamilton.
Well, this is the penalty that was just declined, and you're going to see the receiver that's going to end up catching this is Braylon Addison. He fights through that illegal contact by Unumba, and a 17-yard pickup, and just has enough time to get square to that hit coming downhill from Vontae Diggs.
Here's Evans again. This time he wants to keep it, and he will. Diving ahead. Takes it over midfield for a pickup of about 6.
Like a called play to Dane Evans, just a quarterback draw. Go ahead and hit a lane.
Puts him in a pretty good spot here. 2nd and 5, just on the Eskimo side of midfield. They do lead 24-7. Dustin Nielsen and Glenn Suter with you here at Commonwealth. And this time he'll hand it off, and that's going to be cut back up the field, and that'll go for a first down in the hands of Braylon Addison.
That was almost a zone read fly sweep. Braylon Addison.
There's a lot going on there.
On a fly sweep, zone read, almost like Dane Evans was going to pull it if the defense did something different than they did.
Fresh set of downs to work with here for Evans. 1st and 10 now as they creep down the field here against the Eskimos. Now on the Edmonton 43. This time they'll hand it off to, again, back to Addison. So a couple of handoffs here to Braylon Addison. 3-yard pickup. And Addison's not happy right now.
No, and the guy in the middle of that is a guy that would know all these Hamilton Tiger Cats, Larry Dean. Teammates, former teammates on the other side of the ball.
3 years with the Ticats before coming to Edmonton for Larry Dean. Last year, East Defensive Player of the Year. Here's Evans now. Gets it away. That's a high ball. And it falls incomplete. Namba in coverage there. He's looking for Jackson Bennett, the running back, flaring out to the right there.
Tough ball to complete with the position of Don Unamba. Unamba was in a chase position, so the running back in Bennett is running away from Dane Evans, and he has to try and drop it over the coverage while he's running away towards the sideline. That's almost an impossible play to complete. But Evans did the right thing. Throw it so either his back gets it or it's incomplete.
Yeah, there's no way that was.
There's no way he can underthrow that one.
Second field goal attempt here of the evening for Hairolahu, a 48-yarder. And that one is wide to the left. It'll be brought out of the end zone by Jones. And Jones will take it back to the 20. Now Jones to the 30. Cuts it on the near side of the field. Some room here for Christian Jones. He gets to midfield. 2 men left to beat one of them. The quarterback sidesteps him. Christian Jones dangling his way down to the 15. Biggest play of the game for the Eskimos. And they have some life midway through the third quarter. Now the Eskimos have gone 75 games without a return touchdown. This is the closest they've got, and a heck of a return by Christian Jones.
It really is, and you know that Christian Jones, and watching him in Saskatchewan for those years, is very capable of breaking that 75-game streak without a touchdown. Almost got there on this 100-yard missed field goal return. And he's got his offense in the red zone.
The old scrimmage from the 15 here. Short field for Kilgore. They'll have Gable in behind him. Ricky Collins Jr. in the slot to his left. Now he'll swing in underneath. Quick slant there. That'll be complete. Nope. Ball knocked loose. And that should be an incompletion. Frankie Williams will scoop it up as Tavares Daniels looked like he might have had it.
Well, is he indicating that he thought he did have it and was down before the ball was taken away? Because they're marking the ball
on the
catch.
field is it's a catch with the ball carrier being down with contact.
That's not even debatable, really.
Well, they're going to take a look here. I don't see a challenge from Steinauer. He's got the flag. He is going to take another look at it.
So he's going to say even when he hit the ground, he didn't have full control. And the challenge flag will come out here from Orlando Steinauer.
Hamilton is challenging the ruling on the field. They believe it was an incomplete pass.
As they go to work, here's one more look at it. Challenge from Steinauer. Result coming up.
After review, the ruling on the field is overturned. It was an incomplete pass. It will be second down from the 15-yard line.
Oh, I think we know what Jason Moss is thinking.
Well, take a quick look. And the question is, does DeVaris Daniels have control of the ball when he takes the couple of steps there he does into the middle before he goes down by contact? And if you take a look at all the angles, as we did in commercial and the command center, it didn't look like he had control.
A successful challenge from Rolando Steinauer, much to the chagrin of the crowd here at Commonwealth.
Which means he gets another one.
Still has one in his pocket. Kilgore, 2nd and 10 from the 15 of the Ticats. Has some time here, looks at the far side of the field, and that one batted down. Frankie Williams again, he's been all over the field, already has an interception in this game. Kilgore there was looking for Ellingson.
Yeah, Ellingson can help a little bit by coming back to the ball here, but that's the 3rd knockdown from Frankie Williams, who reads the play, drops his man, which was the go route, and just plays what he sees. He's in a bit of a zone right now on that outside in the wide side corner. 3 knockdowns and a pick for Frankie Williams.
Sean White, he's made 14 in a row. This one will be a 22-yarder from the right hash mark, make it a 14-point game. And that's 15 in a row for Sean White. Fitting here on the night that 15 is being honored. There's a look at Ricky Ray. The man himself will join us next. A look back at, I guess you could say it all began, an injury to Jason Moss, which led to Ricky Ray getting his first start the following week. 4 touchdown passes, and now he's on the wall of honor here at Commonwealth Stadium. July 26, 2002, 10-point win over the BC Lions. You probably remember it like it was yesterday, right, Ricky?
I do, man. It was a lot of nerves, but getting out there and getting my first opportunity to start for this team, and had a great team around me and made it easy for me.
Ricky, I wanted to ask you about the ceremony and just the emotions. I could see, I know you were fighting it, trying to.
Yeah, I'm usually trying to stay calm and collected and even keel, and I lost it out there tonight. Just a lot of emotions. I mean, it's a special night for me.
This return brought back up to the 30 by the Ticats. That is where their offense will come out onto the field. How's that list look? Ricky Ray, 4th all-time, over 60,000.
Pretty good right there, yeah. I mean, I got to play against Anthony and Damon and Henry and Danny Mack, so, I got to watch them throughout my career and look up to those guys, and to be on the list with them is pretty special.
And that four Cup championships, they didn't accomplish that. I just want to ask you, though, Ricky, about that beginning here in Edmonton and the expectation coming in and your relationship with Jason Moss, because that was what happened right out of the gate. Moss got hurt.
Yeah, I mean, he really took me under his wing when I first got here. Just showing me around, introducing me to the veterans, and just making me feel welcomed here. And to be able to have a chance to play when he got hurt, the 4th game of the season, I just had a lot of confidence being around him and him showing me the way.
2002, you get there, but don't get the job done in the Cup. 2003, you go back and take me through that 2nd year, because I know the expectations were high.
Yeah, I mean, that's the hardest thing about professional football is living up to expectations. It's easy when you really haven't done it and you're out there and kind of doing it, but once you've done it and set the bar, you got to try and match it the next year. And for us as a team coming, off a loss in 2002, we felt like, if we didn't win the Grey Cup in 2003, it was a bad year for us, and we were able to come through and beat Montreal and Saskatchewan and revenge that loss from the year before. And that helps having a guy like that catching balls for you. So
now, you guys just kind of clicked instantly, didn't you?
We did, yeah. I mean, some guys you just have that instant chemistry with, and Jason Tucker was one of those guys. And lucky for me, I've had a handful of those guys throughout my career, and obviously Fred Stamp's coming in after that, and being another great corner guy.
So let's go to the next one, because in 2005, as an Edmonton Eskimo, you get a chance at the Cup again, but the playoffs and the beginning of that was you and Jason deciding that you're going to do this together.
Yeah.
2005, you go on and put together a great game in the Cup.
Yeah, I mean, I was struggling there at the end of the season, and Jason came in and really took us to the Grey Cup. coming in and winning the semifinal in Calgary. Oh, there's a good play.
Nope, still alive.
The Eskimos got it. They'll take over at the 35. And that's a nice swing of momentum here for the home side.
Yeah, I mean, that was what we needed right there, some momentum in this game. Hamilton ruined my ceremony in Toronto at the beginning of the year, and they're trying to do the same thing tonight, but we're not going down without a fight tonight.
Suits was talking about that earlier. You're right. They already ruined one night for you.
Exactly, so.
Turnover there. That ball was bouncing all over the place before it was eventually scooped up, and now the Eskimos will come out here with Logan Kilgore.
Well, let's go. Yeah, let's go to the game because Logan played behind you in Toronto. You know a lot about him. Why don't you tell us what you like about his game?
Yeah, I mean, he came in for me in 2016, got some starts, and had some good success right off the bat, and then had a few bad games there. But he's a great guy. He throws a great ball, and he's just got to get out there and get some more experience, and you're seeing that with a lot of guys that I played with, Zach and Trevor and Logan and Cody and Saskatchewan now, getting some opportunities and really taking advantage of them.
Well, I've got to ask you two more questions for sure before we let you go. One being your feelings in 11 when the trade happened. It's still the head scratcher to me. I'll speak what everybody thought at the time. It was a head scratcher.
Yeah, I mean, obviously I was shocked and really mad that whole year. I wanted to be here in Edmonton, and there we go.
Catch! Touchdown!
There we go.
Eskimos, Greg Ellingson. How about that throw from Kilgore?
Man, I'm good luck up here in the Gate.
So you just stay with us, and we'll get a one-session game.
Let's talk about that play quickly. What's that do for his confidence?
Yeah, that's big. I mean, you can see the momentum shifting here, and they needed a momentum change to get things going for them, and hopefully they can ride it here going into the fourth quarter. But I think that's a play that a lot of teams have in their playbook. You put your best receiver out there in space, and you pretty much tell the quarterback, don't overthrow. You just throw it up in the air, give him a chance to make a play, and Greg came down with it.
And Suits, Frankie Williams has been great so far today, and that's who they went at.
Good position, but you just won the battle, Greg.
Yeah, it's hard out there with so much space, one-on-one. That's all you're trying to do is give your receiver a chance.
Sean White, extra point, hammered home, and all of a sudden, that's 17 unanswered here by the Edmonton Eskimos to make it a one-score football game. Greg Ellingson hauling in that one. For him, it's his 5th touchdown of the season. What do you think of this guy wearing 15, though, right?
Yeah,
15?
He told me going into training camp they gave him number 15, and I said, hey, they'll give it out to anybody now. But and I was joking earlier. He probably thinks those number 15s on the field are for him, but I'm gonna have to remind him they were for me tonight.
Yeah, there was where Ellingson lined up. He was that wide receiver in space, as you mentioned, Ricky.
Yep.
And just wins that jump ball against the corner in
That's
great
what you're
position.
counting on right there, yeah.
I wanted to, we were talking about it a little bit, Suits and I, today, the immediate success that you had. Like, we were going through all the quarterbacks in this league, and Glenn had a list of them, of all the greatest ones.
It took 2-3 years, you know.
But what was it like for you having that immediate success?
Yeah, I mean, that was, I say it's up to having a really good team. I mean, they were knocking on the door there for a few years, lost in the West Final the year before. Had a great group of veteran guys that, I could really just go out and do my job and not have to do too much. And, I just was able to get a confidence boost in the second preseason game we played that year against Calgary. I had a good game that game, and just felt like going into the season that, I was ready to back up and fill in if something ever happened to Jason. And it happened a little bit quicker than I thought, but got in there and I was able to take advantage of it.
Well, Old Mole has just put on an Edmonton jersey over the last 5 minutes in this one. Momentum.
1st and 10 from the 32 for Edmonton. Now he's going to take a shot downfield through the extended hands there of Marcus Tucker.
Yeah.
Here is Ricky's good buddy, Jason Moss.
Yep, great guy. Really took me under his wing.
He and I have just always clicked and got along, and that's rare. It's rare in a relationship with people that you do that, particularly high-pressure relationships. When you're having to support one another so much. And but he's just such a great guy and was a great teammate and such a great player. Obviously, I had so much respect for him. He got every single ounce.
How much? As here's Evans, he's in trouble.
Down he goes.
He's going to be taken down by a couple of Eskimos getting in there. I think that was Hoover had moved down, and now a little pushing and shoving. Usher getting involved there. How much of your success, and I don't want to take anything away from you individually, but how much of your success was you and Jason together and pushing each other in that competitive nature, but at the same time, being pretty good buddies?
Yeah, I mean, that was big. I mean, for us to have a good relationship and be great teammates, I mean, it obviously paid dividends for this franchise. I mean, you know, we filled in quite a bit that first year. You know, I was here, and then obviously, you know, what Jason did for us in 2005, going to the Grey Cup was pretty awesome.
I have to bring you back because we got sidetracked by a great catch by Greg Ellingson. But the trade in 11 and just how tough that was for you.
It was tough. You know, I was pretty surprised about it. And, you know, it took me a full year to get over it. Not until, you know, we beat Edmonton in the playoffs that year was I able to kind of finally, you know, move on from it. You know, it was good for me. I mean, it was a good change of scenery, get out, play with the new team, and kind of have a fresh start. And obviously, really thankful, you know, for my time in Toronto.
You know, it took you a year to get over it. It's been 9 years, and they're not over it here yet. So that's how much you meant. This one will be handed off to C.J. Gable. Look at the effort from C.J. Gable as he pushes ahead.
I think the Eskimos have seen Ricky come up to the booth, and now watching from above, they're saying, we better start performing here because it's a different team in this third quarter. Ricky, before we let you go, and again, congratulations on everything, your career and being such a great ambassador to the game of football and the Canadian version of this game. But you can't do it alone. And you've talked about teammates. I want you to give you a chance on national television to mention your wife, Allison, and how important she's been through the process.
Yeah, she's been with me, you know, the whole way. We met in high school, and she's seen me play a lot of football games and, you know, be down in the dumps, and she's been there to support me. And it's just great to have a lady like that in your life where, you know, she just takes care of you, and obviously gave me two beautiful girls that have gotten to be spoiled with some football, watching a lot of football games, going to Grey Cups, and they've meant a lot to me, and I'm just so thankful I have them in my life.
Everybody knows your story, right? You're driving the chip truck. When you were that guy at that job, were you the guy who'd walk in and be like, I'm going to the CFL and the NFL, or like, what was that mindset like?
No, man, I was just trying to put those chips on the shelf as fast as I could and get to my next stop. I mean, it was tough, so I'm glad I got a second chance with football, and you know, obviously ended up working out, finding my way up here to the CFL.
I was listening today, you were on Dave Jameson's show on our TSN radio station here in Edmonton, and you were telling a story, I think it was about the 2005 playoffs with two little old ladies. You have to share that story, it's great.
Yeah, it was, so I was struggling there in 2005. I hadn't thrown a touchdown pass in like 7 games, and, you know, we're going into the playoffs, and, you know, you're listening on the radio, and everybody's debating who should start. And, you know, I think Jason, I think Ricky, and then we were going through a walkthrough, and these two elderly ladies come up to me, and one of them goes, I really hope they start you this week, Jason. She mistaked me for Jason Moss, and the lady she was with had to remind her that I was Ricky and not Jason, and it was a really awkward moment. But I'm glad I got through that. I mean, that was a big confidence boost for me to be able to bounce back and play a good Grey Cup game and get the victory. It was big for my confidence as a young player.
Well, listen, Ricky, we did this in Toronto with your time with the Argos. We've done it again tonight. We will do it again. First-time ballot in the Canadian Football Hall of Fame. You can bet on that. I look forward to that day, too. Again, it has been an absolute honor and privilege and pleasure to cover you playing this game and being such a great ambassador to the game. So thank you very much. Congratulations to you and Allison and the entire family. Yes. Outstanding.
Thank you very much, guys. I appreciate it.
Thanks a lot for the time, man. Really appreciate it. And good luck charm for the Edmonton Eskimos. Ricky Ray did it when he was on the field. He's doing it when he's off the field. Added to the wall of honor here. 15 forever at Commonwealth. 24-17. Eskimos trail through 3. Changing of fortunes here for both of these clubs. Momentum has had a big part of the second half, and the Eskimos now find themselves within striking distance. And we were joking that maybe it was a good luck charm of Ricky Ray who joined us there in the third quarter.
Yeah, he came up, and I think they saw him and said, hey, he's watching from above. We better make sure we play well. It is a ball game all of a sudden, but Again, want to congratulate Ricky Ray and his family. He's going to be up in the Wall of Honor here in Edmonton forever, and going straight into the Hall of Fame the moment he's eligible. I'm a huge fan, as we all are, but I don't think you're going to meet a nicer guy and a guy that is a better ambassador for the game of football. Tremendous career.
What's incredible is that everything he accomplished here, he was just as important to Toronto. I mean, that's two franchises.
Well, important to the entire league.
Well, that's true, yeah.
Yeah.
Here's Kilgore, dumps this one off to CJ Gable, and Gable cuts it back up close to a first down, and that was on a 2nd and 10 as we have an opportunity here to kind of reset where we're at in this game. And
absolutely,
the Edmonton Eskimos have scored 17 in a row.
Well, it's that physicality and making some plays when they need to make plays. The jump ball to Greg Ellingson.
3rd and 1 here, and they'll push ahead to keep this offense on the field, and that's a really good push. Kind of just goes to show that they're running downhill right now on this Ticats defense.
By the way, when Ricky was breaking down that deep ball to Greg Ellingson, he hasn't declared as to whether or not he's going to coach. I hope he does and remains in Canada with his family, but I just started thinking Ricky Ray might be an analyst.
Hey, it was nice working with you a few times,
yeah,
Suits.
Thanks a lot. Come on, coach Ricky.
Yeah. Here is Kilgore now. Pressure coming from the Ticats. He sees it, dumps it off. Teaget is able to come up with it, gets it back to the line of scrimmage. No further, but Kilgore saw that heat coming.
I think the difference for Logan Kilgore here has been the fact that he is just running the offense. I mean, I'm sure they talked about it at halftime. Just go back, rely on the guys around you, make sure you keep everybody involved, distribute the football, don't think too big and that you have to make these big, huge plays down the field. He got caught in that late in the 2nd quarter. Got him in trouble. He's settled in since then.
9th play of the drive here for Kilgore. Dumps it off again. Lots of room for CJ Gable. Cuts it back to the middle of the field. Pushing ahead. CJ Gable diving towards the end zone. Stopped short. But they're knocking on the door after a 26-yard rumble there from CJ Gable.
He will not be denied all of a sudden. CJ Gable out in the flat and inside cut. Great sack tackle. Garrett Davis just keeps him out of the end zone, but what a run.
3rd trip to the red zone here for the Eskimos. 1 for 2 thus far. Kilgore up under center. He's going to keep it pushing ahead, and he's in. Touchdown, Kilgore. Touchdown, Eskimos. Flag in the end zone. We'll see what the call is here.
Hamilton had too many men on the field. That penalty will be declined.
Touchdown Eskimos. They're an extra point away from tying this game up.
Down 24-0. This may be the comeback of the year, at least so far.
This game was all Hamilton in the first quarter. If you're just joining us, Dane Evans threw for 197 yards. They had touchdowns at 42, 41, and 76 yards, tacked on a field goal, and led 24-0. And now the leg of Sean White with an opportunity to tie this thing up. And he does. We're tied in Edmonton. 24 unanswered by the Eskimos. And this is anyone's game as Kilgore's got some confidence. He's got his team tied 24-24.
Just a reminder, Brian Burns of Sherwood Park. It's not over yet. This is your chance to win big thanks to Save on Foods' $1 Million Touchdown to Win. If a kickoff's returned for a touchdown, you could win a $10,000 home theater package. If it happens twice, could be $1 million. Hey, there's a chance we get a kickoff coming up.
He's right. We have a kickoff coming up. Sean White tied at 24, lets it fly, and that will come down to Frankie Williams. Williams brings it ahead, and it dives up over the 35. And one of the places where the Eskimos started to get this momentum was on a kick return from Christian Jones.
Yeah,
that first big plays of the game.
Kick started, play on defense, a couple of sacks that their defense created and gave them some field position. That was a tremendous run by C.J. Gable getting down the goal line to tie this game up after the extra point. We're locked up at 24.
There you go. Rookie and Bobby, that's the wife and father of Logan Kilgore. They have to be happy with what they've seen here in the second half. Anthony Coombs, nowhere to go. Eskimos defense, Vontae Diggs all over him. Loss of 3.
It's infectious, good and bad. Game's going good, and it's infectious throughout the entire team. Offense makes some plays, the defense steps up.
How much is last week, do you think, in the head of the Ticats right now?
Yeah, that's a good point. I mean, you gotta flush it and make sure it's gone.
Trying to get back on track. Still a ton of time. They're tied at 24. Some pressure coming here from the Eskimos. Evans over the middle, and that one deflected by Larry Dean. Falls incomplete, and it'll be a 2-and-out here for the visitors.
And now what's important for both teams, still some trash talking going on after every play still. Now it's knotted up at 24. Don't want to be the guy who gets that 15-yard penalty.
Kick from the 25. It's going to take a bounce up at about the Eskimo 45. And Eskimos offense that's been rolling in the second half, about to get the ball back, looking for the lead.
And Coors Light answering the call. We wondered about Logan Kilgore in his first start since 2016. There are the numbers, but that's just a small part of the story. How about a 24-point comeback? A great second half for Kilgore, looking to finish the job here in the fourth quarter.
There's a look at how we got here. Truly a tale of two halves.
Well, one of the biggest comebacks in Edmonton regular season history here in the making. Not the top comeback, down 24-0.
They're down 27 in 1975. This one's the second largest, of course. This game is still up for grabs, though. C.J. Gable, and Gable's been moving the ball extremely well. You know what? They kind of fired him up when that pushing and shoving got going in the first half. C.J. Gable kind of took his game up another level.
Yeah, the physicality changed for Edmonton after the hit from Simone Lawrence that drew the penalty flag and
Kilgore.
On Kilgore, and that's got them fired up. You know, it was probably heated down there in the Edmonton locker room, and they're right back in this, all tied up.
2nd and 6 from the Edmonton 49 here for Kilgore. Now over 200 yards passing on the evening. In trouble here, trying to get away. He'll just hang on to the ball. It'll be taken down there by Jagarrett Davis, and it'll be a 2-and-out. So the Ticats defense stops the bleeding at midfield.
Big play by Jagarrett Davis. I mean, Jagarrett Davis doesn't make this tackle. Logan Kilgore gets the first down. He had room in front of him before the linebacking core got there, but Jagarrett Davis' second effort comes off his pass rush, comes back underneath and gets it. Makes the tackle.
Sean White just inside his own 35. Set to kick it away with hair over 9 minutes left. That will come into the waiting arms there of Williams. Williams trying to find the far side of the field. He does, and he's got some blockers in front of him. As Williams will take it back up to midfield, just across midfield before he's forced out. So good field position here for Dane Evans and the Ticats. Let's send it down to Ryan Rushaw.
All right, thanks, Dustin. I have to say this is a much different field on the Eskimo sideline than a few weeks ago. You guys will recall there was some infighting happening, arguing on the sidelines, even some shoving between teammates out on the field. Well, even when they were down by 24 points, it was very positive on this Eskimo sidelines. Christian Jones, after each 2-and-out, was meeting a frustrated offense as they were running off the field, and he was saying, just stay with it, boys. Just stay with it. Obviously, head coach Jason Moss addressed last week with his team and a much more positive outlook on the sidelines tonight, guys.
They definitely have the momentum right now. Here's Evans, nice escapability, and he's able to look downfield and pick up a first down completion just inside the 45 to Jalen Acklin.
Well, and a hit on your quarterback can unite a team as well, and you know that Edmonton has gotten there. This is a big play by Evans, though, because it slows a little of this momentum. Even one first down can slow it.
Far side, that's a completion as well. Acklin again, and another first down, and they've definitely moved within Haralahu field goal range.
And right now the tempo changed a little bit for Hamilton. Dane Evans now getting up on the line of scrimmage, calling plays on the line, not letting the Edmonton defense get set up.
Work so far on this drive. Aldo, flip it underneath to Banks. Eskimos read that very well. And Money Hunter comes over and heaves him out of bounds.
That tempo offense just tries to keep the defense vanilla. So Tommy Condell, the offensive coordinator, upstairs calling the plays, trying to keep that tempo up. They're in the huddle on this play. It's a second and long. I want to make sure they get this one straight, but they get that tempo, they can keep the defense vanilla, playing basic stuff.
Second and 9 on the Edmonton 30. Evans with 4 targets to his right. Pressure coming backside. Gets it off downfield. Up for grabs. And it falls incomplete. As he put some zip on that one, looking for Acklin. Defended well. Hightower in the mix there.
Boy, Acklin had a crack at this. He's going to go outside the hash, then bend it right back into the middle. Just to the back shoulder throw. And he knows it.
Enough on this drive, though, for Evans to put them in field goal range. Haralahu comes out. Remember, he missed one. That one was from about 48, I believe. This one, 38. For the lead. And that one is good. Haralahu bounces back. Ticats bounce back. They lead 27-24. Edmonton Eskimos took a little while to get going, Glenn, but when they did, they made the most of it.
I wonder how much that field goal and a couple of first downs created by Dane Evans will slow that momentum.
Here's Kilgore looking back on the near side, and that one will be complete up to about the 35-yard line.
Another big play by Jagarrett Davis, Dustin. He just, you know, he's dealing with his tackle and the guy that's trying to block him. He's going after the quarterback, but then peeling off of the quarterback rush to get involved in the tackling. Second tackle in a row for Jagarrett Davis.
First touch of the game there for Alex Taylor. CJ Gable back in there, standing right next to Kilgore. Kilgore in trouble this time, escapes it, dumps it off. Devon Smith's got the first down, tripped up. But he had enough there before Simone Lawrence got a piece of him.
There's an example of Logan Kilgore in the first half in his first start this year, or in the second half now that he's settled in, he's got the score back in order, and the way they like it, the Edmonton Eskimos do, to have the vision to see across this body in the other side of the field and drop that off is big.
It's a sign that he's feeling comfortable out there right now. Kilgore, this time, dumps it off on the far side. Ricky Collins, nowhere to go. Good pursuit there. And he ran out of room as Carriel Brooks tracked him down.
This is a big down right here.
Right at midfield.
Yep, midfield, second and long. Young Logan Kilgore in there. Hamilton gets the stop here. They get the ball back. Eat up a lot of that clock, sorry.
5 minutes on the clock here. Dustin Nielsen and Glenn Suter with you. Kilgore needs 8. A little bit of time over the middle, and that one dropped, knocked incomplete. Looked like it was behind the intended target. Tavares Daniels.
Tried to go right over the middle. I know it looked like might have been a little contact there from Simone Lawrence. He cut underneath it.
That one was right into the hands and out of the hands of Rico Murray.
Let's go, Hunter!
White to kick it away from his 40. That'll drop at the 16, a 42-yarder from White. Brought back up to the Ticats side of the 25. Wednesday on CTV, Colby Smulders is as tough as nails PI. Get into the series premiere of Stumptown Wednesday, 10 o'clock Eastern, 8 o'clock Mountain, only on CTV, and then stream anytime. Four minutes left. Back on the field, Ticats offense with a 3-point cushion. Evans first and 10 from his 25, and that one incomplete. He gunned it in there, but the coverage spot on from Josh Johnson.
Yeah, great close by Josh Johnson. It was a timing curl, and the timing real good from Dane Evans. Had the throwing lane, put it right where he wanted it, but look at Johnson's great timing coming out of his back pedal. Absolutely bang on.
Can't do a better job. I mean, he could have picked it, I guess, but that wasn't bad. But it does set up his 2nd and 10 here for Evans. 4 targets through his right wide side of the field. Dumps it off underneath. Clever little play. Will it be enough for Coombs? No. I think they're going to keep him short.
It may be, but that little second effort dive is going to put it right around a yard to, I think, where Orlando Steinauer could go ahead and go for it here. He was held a couple of yards short. Looked like he was going to get tackled 2 or 3 yards short, but just an extra little push and effort to dive forward there got him another 2 yards. Now they're inside a yard and they're going to go.
Steinauer didn't waste any time either. Watford in the game. Quarterback keeper comes around the right side of the line and an excellent push ahead. And that will give the Ticats a fresh set of downs here as we move inside 3 minutes on the second half of a Friday night football doubleheader here. Watford keeping the offense on the field with a lead. Kilgore watching on, needing his defense to get a stop here. Evans near side, that'll be complete to Banks. And Banks lunging ahead and picks up about 3 yards of that extra jump along the turf, and that'll put them in a 2nd and short situation.
Next 30 yards of real estate is the game. If Dane Evans can move it about 25 more yards, they're in field goal range to me to make it a major that the Eskimos would need.
4th time in 5 games now, Dane Evans has thrown for 300. 2nd and 2 now for Evans. They'll hand it off. Back to the line of scrimmage, but not much further there as Jackson Bennett didn't really find any space.
A couple of plays made by Matthew Betts, who's recent signing.
Timeout, Edmonton.
Top
That was their
prospect,
final
top
timeout.
draft pick. Edmonton Eskimos got better up front when they got him, and he caused a fumble tonight and a big assist in the tackle here to hold him short.
There he is. That's a good look. Betts helping out. Was with the Chicago Bears. Release, signs with the Eskimos this year, next year, and a team option for a 3rd. Absolute beast out of Laval. Down lineman of the year across the country 3 consecutive years. Was thought by many to be the top prospect in the entire draft. Ended up goes third, and the Ticats are going to kick this away.
That effort from Betts was a half a yard worth of work, and it just talked Orlando Steinauer out of going for it, because now it's a full yard.
Hairolahu stands on his 31. Christian Jones waiting at the 15. And this kick will bounce. And eventually it'll be picked up. No yard flag flies. And this is going to move the Eskimos in pretty good field position here.
That was smart by, I think it was Alex Bazzi who picked that ball up, because Hairolahu was hustling for it. So the ball,
I think you were right on Bazzi.
has not touched anybody, or does it? No, it hasn't touched. So now only the kicker Hairolahu can recover unless there's someone behind him. There wasn't, but Bazzi picks it up, and Hairolahu is right there. You see number 70. He was very close to recovering that.
Kilgore gets the moment here. Just over 2 minutes left. His drive will start on his own 45, then he 3 to tie. Empty backfield for Kilgore. He's in trouble, and he's going to be taken down. Nowhere to go. Hauser there first.
Ted Laurent, Julian Hauser, they just say, I'll meet you at number 15. What a bull rush from Laurent.
4th sack of the season there for Laurent. 2nd and 16 now. Facing Kilgore in this offense. Steps up, looks downfield, has a man, DeForest Daniels, intercepted! Yes! Jamal Roll steps in underneath Daniels, picks it off at the Ticat 20.
Well, if you're an Edmonton fan right now, you're saying, well, that's as good as a punt. But if you're a Hamilton fan, you say the game's in our hands now, we have the hammer. I mean, this is just an underthrown ball down the sideline, because DeForest Daniels had about a 3 yards advantage on Roll. He just had to come back and try and fight back to it. That ball was underthrown on the run from Logan Kilgore. Needed to put it out there and let DeForest Daniels go get it. Didn't happen. Roll gets the pick, and now Dane Evans can end it with a drive here and a couple first downs.
3rd interception of the year for Roll. Eskimos defense will need to step up now as the Ticats try to seal this thing away. First down carry, a pickup of about 4 as they went back to Bennett. Now I'll put him in 2nd and medium with 1:40 on the clock.
Still lots of time. If you're looking from the Edmonton perspective, you're saying get the stop here, get the ball back, probably with just under a minute. Time for field goal range. First down should do it for Hamilton.
6 for 19 on 2nd down conversions. Here's Evans. Keeps it this time. Far side, complete to Banks. Banks trying to find the outside. I don't think he had enough, as the Eskimos kind of just forced him to run out of room.
They did just string this out defensively, a big play, because I think Banks may have lost where he was. No, he saw the marker right in front of him. Just looking from that reaction, almost like
he's thinking he should have turned it upfield.
Yeah, exactly. That.
Well, it's 3rd and 3, so they'll definitely have to kick this away, and could be good field position here for the Eskimos if the defense comes up big. Hairolahu on his 10 now to kick this away with a 3-point lead. We'll let the clock tick down. Kick is away. Christian Jones will step under this one at the 45. Jones brings it back up near midfield, and that's where Kilgore will start with 66 seconds on the clock.
First start since 16, just the 4th in his CFL career. His 4th year in the league, and the 29-year-old's got a chance with really the game in his hand. He doesn't have to play for the field goal here. He's got enough with 1:06 and field position right about the center field mark or just shy of it. There's a chance to put it in the end zone here.
Last time out here, they took a sack. Lost 6 yards, put him in a tough spot on second down. See what they can get on first here. Kilgore, 3 targets to the wide side left. Pressured again, drops it off underneath. There is a flag on the play though, as that was complete to Gable, but a flag on the far side of the field with 61 ticks left on the clock.
Illegal contact on receiver, Hamilton number 21. This is a 10-yard penalty that will result in a first down for Edmonton.
Simone Lawrence, the guilty party.
Working on Ricky Collins. Like he was inside of 5, but he grabbed him around the shoulder pads and neck.
1st and 10 on the Hamilton 47. They'll give it to Gable. Gable trying to find some room. What an effort from C.J. Gable as he takes it down to the Hamilton 41, a pickup of 6. Should note, something to keep in mind, Sean White's long on the year, 48.
Which should be about where they're at.
And there's a good look at White warming up. Career long for White is 55. Kilgore trying to move it closer. Near side, and that one incomplete. He was looking for Ellingson, and Ellingson slams his fist out of frustration.
Yeah, just two throws that have just been off. The one to Daniels down the sideline on the last series. That was great recognition from Logan Kilgore to see the blitz coming off the edge, know that the blitz beater was Greg Ellingson on the out route and just missed him too far outside.
It sets up a 48-yarder from straight away for Sean White. It would match his season high. Kilgore out there to hold. This will be for the tie from Sean White. He's made 15 in a row. If it's 16, he'll tie it. The kick is up. And it's good. Sean White ties it.
Money.
(27-27).
35 seconds.
Kilgore is fired up.
It's a very gentlemanly celebration, the handshake after the kick. 35 seconds left, though.
White will come out to kick it off. So an opportunity still here, 35 seconds, as Glenn mentioned, for Dane Evans. And hey, we know that they can strike in a hurry. 42-41 and 76-yard touchdowns.
You're looking
in the first quarter.
3-4 plays probably, Dustin. Depending on what Frankie Williams does here with this return.
Williams waiting for it, comes down at the 20. Brings it back up to the 30, pushes ahead, close to the 40, just shy of it. And Dane Evans will come out with 30 seconds. And he'll need to go about 30 yards.
So three to four plays. Need a chunk in one of them, but only needs field goal range. Long field goal on the year for Hyrule, who is 56 yards.
Got the leg.
Really no wind tonight to speak of.
He did miss one, though. 2 for 3 on the night. Here at not much wind at all. Here's Evans, 1st and 10 from his own 39. Has some time, looks downfield. There is a man there, and that is complete. As he just lobs it in there to Braylon Addison. And that moves them up the field in a hurry. Got a big chunk of what they needed there.
Yeah, that was the big chunk he needed. Dane Evans in the pocket. He's got to stay in there now and hold on for Addison to get out there. He takes a shot, but he takes it, and it pays off. 26-yard gain in that big chunk he needed. They're basically in field goal range already.
Now they'll hand it off. Bennett straight up the middle takes it down to the 40 with 22 seconds left in the football game.
What a play and throw from Dane Evans. The out route to Braylon Addison right on the sideline.
Here's Evans again, back to Bennett, pushing ahead. Flag on the far side of the field. He didn't get enough. It'll bring up third down, but there was a flag shortly after that ball was snapped. Hairolahu knowing he's going to have a chance to win this thing.
Hairolahu may have just got 5 yards closer, depending on what happens.
Edmonton, this is a 5-yard penalty. Will replay second down.
So they're going to move it ahead. And that will be enough for the first down. And they sit on the 35. 17 seconds left. Evans is taking care of business here in a hurry. Up under center again. Tucks him in the belly of Bennett, who just rumbles down. Almost had another first down with 11 seconds on the clock.
Jackson Bennett just took a whole bunch of pressure off Hairolahu.
Big time. Three great runs.
I mean, well, that last one specifically, because that last one, that was a 10-plus run to take him from a long 40-plus field goal to essentially a chip shot.
Hairolahu makes from 48 and 38. A miss from 48 earlier as well. He's 2 of 3. Season long 56. This one just 34 from the right hash to win the game for the Hamilton Tiger Cats. Hairolahu, low snap, kick is up, and it is good. Ticats win it on the leg of Lirim Hairolahu, 30-27.
He banked it in. Outstanding hold by Dane Evans. That ball rolled back to him. And Evans, with the great throw to Addison to get the chunk he needed with 30 seconds left on the clock, makes his second biggest play of the game right there to pick that up off the turf and get it on the tee for Hairolahu. Hairolahu banks it in.
A friendly bounce for the Ticats, and they avoid a collapse. Having had a 24-0 lead, they recover in the fourth quarter, and Hairolahu, biggest kick of the game for him to win it. Jason Moss thought he missed it. Almost did. You see his reaction. It went in. He didn't know. He didn't think it did. Tiger Cats 30-27 over the Edmonton Eskimos. The Eskimos have lost 4 in a row. Nissan Titan Player of the Game is brought to you by Nissan Titan, ranked #1 in quality by J.D. Power.
Well, honorable mention to Dane Evans. I think Dane Evans played a great first quarter and then made some huge plays there right at the end of the fourth to bring this team back to Hamilton Tiger Cats. But all game long, Frankie Williams was all over the place. He was leading this defense with 3 knockdowns, had a huge pick that set up an early touchdown right there, and also added 4 or 5 tackles. So give a little love to a DB and Frankie Williams in the corner for Hamilton.
All over the place, Frankie Williams tonight. Dane Evans on the other side for the Hamilton Tiger Cats. 336 yards, 3 touchdowns. There's one of them to Banks. Excellent first quarter, and made 2 of the biggest plays of the game on the final drive
for Dane Evans as the Hamilton Tiger Cats bounce back after a loss in Calgary last week and will leave Alberta with a victory and leave the Eskimos wondering what is happening as they claw their way back, but they've lost 4 in a row. Hiralahu, the hero, on Ricky Ray night in Edmonton.